local craft beer has been hopping in Vancouver. There are currently 9 brew pubs serving their pints of art and passion in the city limits, most of them within walking distance of each other, or communal biking distance.
Anything that drives a person's passions, people spend a lot of time thinking about it and end up being creative with their passion or their art.
Craft beer is just, it is a craft in terms of the way it's produced and the amount of love that goes into producing a good beer, and the taste is just special.
To be able to walk into one of the local breweries and you can smell that they're boiling beer, you can smell the hop aroma in the air, that's fun for a lot of people.
Love beer. It brings the community together. It's a foundation of civilization.
Vancouver has a history of brewing beer. Starting in 1856 near Fort Vancouver, soldiers enjoyed the offerings of Vancouver Brewery. A decade later, the brewery moved to the establishing downtown area. Over time, the facility expanded, and there were also some brand name changes, including Star Brewery, Interstate Brewery, and finally Lucky Lager Brewing, with the iconic red L on top of the building. As a Vancouver brewing footnote, a young Henry Weinhard earned his malty chops at Vancouver Brewery and even owned it from 1859 to 1862. After Lucky closed operations in 1985, brewing in Vancouver slowed to a simmer. During this lull, the locals took to fermenting their craft at home while gathering inspiration from other parts of the area.
We originally started with our beer store, which was by the bottle. We started that 10 years ago. At that particular point in time, there was really only 3 breweries per se in the county. Salmon Creek, which was right next door, Hazeldale Brew Pub up on Highway 99 in Hazeldale, and McMiniman's on the river.
Tom and I were homebrewers together for a long time. We started brewing in my kitchen, moved to his garage, and like every homebrewer, you've got the dream of going pro, opening your own brewery. For one, it's our hometown, and there really wasn't much going on here. We had the original Salmon Creek Brew Pub and Hazeldale Brew Pub. Hazeldale obviously is gone now, and Salmon Creek sold and became Old Ivy. It seemed like the right time, and there wasn't a lot to do on this side of the river, and that was one of the motivations for opening our own place.
As I started making beer 26 years ago, it's really fun for my employees and I to see all of the new breweries in Vancouver that the vast majority of them started as home brewers here. We've seen them start making beer, we've seen them get excited about beer, we've seen them grow as a brewer, and then it's really very exciting when they open their pub.
Mike and I grew up in Vancouver. We love this place, and we wanted to see Vancouver grow and become a place that people wanted to go to drink craft beer, to have good food, to have a good lifestyle. For us, it was, let's do this in our hometown. Let's do something that's local here, where we grew up, in the town we know.
Vancouver, that's my home. That's where I'm from, born and raised. Spent some time away, as a lot of people do, but when I came back, it was pretty obvious that I missed my home, and I'm glad to be back, and bribed my son to come live up here and be our head brewer.
Even though Heathen Brewing is located in Hazeldale, downtown Vancouver is where they wanted their brew pub.
The Vancouver downtown vibe has changed so much, and I'm talking everything from cold-pressed coffee to breweries to now startup biotech companies moving in. It's really exciting. And then this opportunity came downtown where we could actually get to share pints, and then I'm also a foodie, and to be able to share the food perspective that I have.
Each pub offers its own culture, its own atmosphere. Just depends on what you're after on that given day. That's the beauty of the diverse nature of beer. You can have a sour beer, you could have the German beer, you could have IPA.
Each brewing system is unique, and to appreciate its capabilities takes time. To be a brewer is to be part meticulous chemist and part artist of the senses. With a variety of malts, hops, and yeast to choose from, brewers savor pitching new ideas to challenge their creativity. We, the imbibers of their craft, are the lucky recipients of their endeavors. What to try next is what makes the beer culture experience so fresh and exciting.
The brewers that are here that are going to be successful are innovators. They're going to keep the revolution of the craft beer rolling in Vancouver. What I mean by that is that we're not trying to make one beer and make it over and over. We want to make 88 different beers like we did last year. We made 88 different styles. That's not very profitable, it's not efficient, but it's fun. It's engaging for us to keep our creative minds rolling with what's new and what's next.
Like the lacing at the end of a pint, it just made sense to have another beer scene in Vancouver. Besides, all the ingredients for craft beer are right here.
We're excited to work closely with the Vancouver breweries and be part of the craft beer boom here in Vancouver and provide local products to local companies. The model here at Country Malt Group and Brewcraft is to be a one-stop shop for the breweries and the homebrew stores. So we provide everything from the malt, the hops, and the cleaning agents and everything in between. And as a consumer, I'm a big fan of the beers coming out of here in Vancouver.
They make good product. They're local. I mean, talk about hyper-local, it's just right down the street. We can pick up pretty much all we need from them. About 95 to 98% dry goods product comes from Great Western Malt or Country Malt, one of their subsidiaries.
Keeping it local is what's keeping the locals here in Vancouver.
Living here, I realized that in the beginning, 10 years ago, that the majority of what I would do for entertainment would be going across the bridge into Portland. And I think now with the addition of breweries and bars and restaurants and the fact that you can get craft beer pretty much all over the county has changed that. If people no longer want to travel to Portland, they would prefer to stay in their own backyard and support the local businesses that exist.
Vancouver is becoming a place that people want to live and stay and hang out. Beer culture, and Fortside is a part of creating that. It's not just the breweries, it's not just the beer culture, it's everything combined. Local food producers who are using local ingredients. We're just like that. We're a local beer maker using local ingredients.
I think a brewery brings a real sense of community and place, and people really feel that, and they like it. When we opened Lewitt, we wanted to create a place that we would want to spend time at. You come in, you feel comfortable, the staff is friendly, it's just a fun place to be. We've seen a great culture and little community built just around our tap room in the last 3.5 years that we've been open.
While not everybody is a craft beer consumer, many enjoy the vibe a brewpub creates.
The ones that are focused in the neighborhoods, yeah, they're gathering places. If you do it right, you bring in the neighborhood. I mean, we set up this business to be family friendly until 8 p.m. and you add a couple of pints to it and people have a lot of fun. You throw in some live music, you've got yourself a little entertainment hub.
There is an opportunity for conversation. It's also an opportunity to not converse. You can sit there, you can converse, you can meet people from your community, have a beer.
I've never been to a brewery, a pub where I didn't meet somebody that was interesting, fascinating, friendly. Strike up a conversation with an 86-year-old lady or a guy in leathers and a biker. Beer was the common denominator. That was a great thing. I really fell in love with that. I thought it was really cool when people could find common ground over a glass of beer.
Brew festivals at Esther Shore Park really also do the same thing. You get there and you walk around and you're drinking beer, but you visit with a whole bunch of different people. And that's really exciting for a lot of people, and it gives them a sense of community.
From a heritage rooted in craft beer to Vancouver's new booming beer scene, the demand for craft beer in our city and the sense of place that comes along with it shows no signs of slowing down.
Vancouver is headed in the right direction. There's a lot of development going on downtown with the addition of the waterfront here. There'll be, gosh, another maybe 1,500 people living here in the city limits, which is going to be great for craft beer.
I can't wait to see where this goes next. There is so much change that's going to happen with the beer scene especially. For us, we already have plans, and I know that my brothers aren't going to let me get ahead of them. The end result is the community is going to benefit from choice and from well-executed events.
Well, I love craft beer. I love Vancouver. I think the two of them together, there's plenty of growth opportunities in Vancouver, plenty of growth for craft beer, so they just go hand in hand.